Hi, and welcome to the video on area of a circle. By the end of this video, you should be able to find areas of circles, semicircles, and quadrants. The area of a circle is given by a formula. We're not going to go into how the formula is found in this video, but I will give a video on the website which you should look at to find out where they get it from. So we get given a circle with a certain radius, that's a length, from the center to the outside to the circumference. And the formula is A equals, A for area, equals pi r squared, that is r times itself. Now this looks sort of similar to the formula for the circumference of a circle, c equals 2 pi r. They both use 2's, they both use pi's, and they both use r's. So how are you going to remember which one is which? Well, when you're working on area, areas find centimeter squares, or meter squares, or kilometer squares. And when you're finding the circumference, you're finding a length, so you're going to be finding centimeters or meters. It's hoped that you link up the squareds from the formula for the area of a circle with the squared on the centimeter for the area of a general shape. So we're going to use this formula, pi r squared, and work out the area of a couple of circles. So here we have a circle in number 1 with a radius of 7 meters. So the area is going to be pi r squared, where r is 7. So in my calculator, I'm going to put pi times 7 squared, and that'll give me a nice long decimal, but I only want it to say 2 decimal places. So the area is going to be 153.94 meters squared. Now I've rounded that off to 2 decimal places, and you can tell that I have because I've written in brackets 2dp after my answer. Number 2 has a diameter of 19 centimeters. So our area formula requires a radius. Do you remember how to find the radius when you're given the diameter? The radius is half of the diameter. Half of 19 is 9.5. So when I substitute into my formula, my area will be pi times 9.5 squared. And putting that into a calculator gives me 283.53 centimeters squared. And again, I've rounded off to 2 decimal places. Now let's talk about parts of circles. Let's talk about semicircles and quadrants, which are quarters of a circle. It's a very similar kind of process. So we have a semicircle with a diameter of 12 millimeters. My formula for the area of a semicircle is not going to be pi r squared, it's going to be a half pi r squared because I'm finding the area of only half the circle. Now you do remember that the formula uses r for radius, and we're given a diameter. So the diameter is going to be twice the radius, or the radius is going to be half the diameter. So our radius in this circle is going to be 6 centimeters, or 6 millimeters, sorry. So putting this into the formula, my area will be a half times pi times 6 squared. It's really important to note that 6 squared is not 12. A lot of kids seem to think that this 6 squared means 6 times 2. This 6 squared means 6 times 6. So in your calculator, you're going to put a half times pi times 6 squared, which is going to be 56.55 millimeters squared. Little note, I've written to 2 decimal places for these answers, and it doesn't say anything about 2 decimal places in the question. I've chosen 2dp. You might choose 1 decimal place or 4 decimal places, or the whole calculator answer if you like. Unless the question states how many decimal places you can have, you can write as many as you want, as long as you write in brackets after it how many decimal places you're rounding to. Okay, let's look at number 2. So number 2 is a quadrant, or a quarter of a circle, with a radius of 4 centimeters. So the formula changes only slightly. Instead of being a half pi r squared, we're going to have a quarter pi r squared. We are given the radius, not a diameter, so I'm just going to substitute 4 centimeters in where I see an r. So my area is going to be a quarter times pi times 4 squared. Putting this into a calculator gives me 12.57 centimeters squared. What I'd like you to do now is pause and summarize the screen, which gives you the formula for the area of a circle, as well as the 4 examples that I went through in this video. And that's it. Hopefully now you understand how to find the area of a circle using pi r squared, as well as how to find the area of semicircles and quadrants. Good luck.